Hey YouTube, it's amazing how when you want to make a video, there always seems to be some kind of distraction or noise or something that pops up right when you're starting your video. You don't even want to know how many times I've had to try to do this video. So basically what I was going to say was, I was thinking about a question yesterday to create a video, and I really like this idea and this question. If you could go back in time, what time period would you want to visit, and why? And I kind of came up with several. If I wanted to go way back, I'd have to say I'd like to see the Sumerians or the Egyptians, and to see their culture, to see how the rule of law was implemented and created, and see how the pyramids were built, and see if the Egyptians really built the pyramids. There's a lot of speculation now about that. Did they build them, or were they already there and they just modified them or built them up, or what's the deal? And what do they really use the pyramids for? So that would be very interesting. Now, of course, there was like slavery, to my knowledge. At least there's some people who believe that there was a lot of different types of slavery back then. So that would have been something not so pleasant to see. But unfortunately, though, through all history, there's been slavery, and even now there's slavery. So for those who are naive, though, I don't think that they should probably even travel in history, because I don't think they could handle it. But there's a lot of things you would probably see that you would not be desirable, just like in modern day. Now, if I was to say, okay, getting closer to the modern day time, it popped in my mind to maybe travel to the medieval times, but even though there's a lot of cool things that they had back then, it was what they called the Dark Ages for a reason. Everybody was pretty much either illiterate, or they had backward science, or depending on where you live, the church pretty much controlled the flow of information and all the thoughts and ideas, and they controlled how things ran, and what people thought. So I think I could probably live without that. Now, in terms of modern day, though, and I think this would probably be, the closest that I could relate to, and the most interesting for me personally, would be to be a witness to the early expansion of the West here in the United States. Right before the settlers went out to expand and travel and explore the West, and claim their land plots with the covered wagons and horses. I think personally that would be the coolest. Well, at least one of the coolest in modern day, just to see the pristine land, the wildlife, and its abundance, and the indigenous tribes of various tribal leaders and various individuals. Even though there was a lot of war fighting between the Indians, from what I understand, the overall, though, I think that would have been really interesting to see the West as it was, and then maybe even experience the very earliest portion of the migration to the West. And so I got thinking about that, and it wouldn't just it would be like I said, the land, to see the land and the animals and the tribes, and also experience what it's like to be in a wagon, and experience the blades that they had back then, and the sidearms and their techniques, and basically how they dealt with survival on a real level. How do they build camp? I do believe that a lot of those used various types of canvas tarps, or at least coverings, and I think that's just really interesting. There would be a lot to learn from that, and I wouldn't want to live in that time period, but it is very rough, and there's really no safety net, if you know what I mean, like in today's world. So I just thought maybe that would be something to bring up, this question of what time period would you want to be thrown into, just temporarily. It could be just for a few weeks or a few months, and you were able to come back. And so yeah, just let me know what you think about that, and as always, thanks for watching.